I basically showcase my building process on props, costumes, and set pieces for film, TV shows, or for major events like Halloween Horror Nights. Here's the one I did recently where I was making a corpse.
It's the Parlor with Harris and Myles.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again with another exciting episode of The Parlor. How do you like that intro? Anyway, well, like every week here, we have a very special guest on the show. And this week is no different, but this week is different in a way where this guest is very particular in a specific niche here in Los Angeles in the filmmaking business. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you special effects artist, prop maker, and content creator here in Los Angeles, Freddy Schramm. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. What's going on, man?
Just chilling from a very long week. It's good to sit down and relax for a bit.
It is good, isn't it?
I've been working in my, I don't have a shop. I just work out of my parking space in my studio apartment. And I've been in the sun all week trying to get this one particular project done. So if I seem tan and brown, it's
oh my God, you're like almost
a
a black guy right now, dude. I gotta say. Hey, let's pull that a little closer.
All right, yeah.
Oh, that works perfect.
Complete opposite from the normally neon white. So it feels good to sit down now for a change.
So what, dude? I mean, you are in such an interesting part of the filmmaking business. I gotta say, I mean, I don't think I've had anybody on the show that's got a profession quite like yours. I mean, I gotta say, just there's an elephant in the room here. This guy worked on one of my favorite TV shows. I'm just gonna say now. First of all, his favorite show of 2024, but probably
this is going.
My favorite show almost in the last decade. If you're not counting The Boys and Severance and a few other gems in the rough, but dude, I gotta tell you, this guy's worked on Fallout, bro. He designed. Well, I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about what he did there.
So I wouldn't say designed.
I didn't say that. I said desired. You desired.
Desired. I did. Fallout's one of my, first of all, my favorite video game of all time.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
When I got a chance to make collaborate with a whole bunch of artists on one of the sets of power armor for the show, I was really excited.
What type of power armor? Is it a T60?
It is a T60 set
Woo!
of power
Nerd
armor.
alert!
Nah, whoop, my audio went out.
Oh, that's because I go... You're still recording?
Oh, okay.
But it's because I go so loud sometimes. I don't know if I told you.
There we go.
But I'm a loud motherfucker.
So, where was it? So every photo you've seen of like the main set of power armor, that power armor was done at Legacy Effects. I did not work on that set of power armor.
What is Legacy Effects?
Legacy Effects, it is one of the, if not one of the best special effects shops here in Los Angeles. Pretty much every single superhero movie, every single Star Wars movie, every single big blockbuster movie, they have a special hand in making some of the props and costumes. It used to be Stan Winston Studios, the guy in charge of making the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. Just really big special effects legend. That, unfortunately, when he passed away, the studio got reorganized into Legacy Effects, carrying on the legacy.
I love that name.
I briefly worked there for 3 months. It was I loved it. It was one of my favorite jobs when I first moved here to LA. Unfortunately, they through layoffs because of the strike, we felt the effects of the actors and writer strike like 9-10 months before the actual strike happened. So they had to do downsizing. So I haven't been back there, but I'm hoping to work there again soon. But I didn't work on that set of power armor that came from that shop. All that credit goes for all the amazing artists over at Legacy Effects. Whenever a studio has a need for a big costume like that, sometimes they'll shop it around to a couple different shops with the idea. Like, hey, can you make this set of power armor? And then they'll do like good, better, and best. Because, different shops have, different skill sets of what they can outproduce. And,
but they're paying all of them.
Yeah, they're paying all of them, but
Yeah.
they pay them all at different tiers.
Of
too.
course.
I don't know how much the one at Legacy Effects cost, but I would say it was worth every penny that came out of that shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the one they went with for the show.
It is.
Oh my god!
So
if you saw that armor, you'll know that's a Legacy armor, baby.
I worked on the set of armor that came from TNA Workshop with my buddy Sean Thorson, who honestly he deserves all credit from the design standpoint, the fabrication standpoint, getting that costume off the ground. I met him like several years ago, and we actually started working on that set of armor before the show came out. It was more of a hobby for him because he makes props and costumes for like big cosplayers and big collectors. He makes, the best way I can put it is he makes really tiny things for big productions that you probably like notice in a screenshot if you look hard enough, and really big things for smaller productions that you've probably never heard of.
Can you give us an example of one of the smaller things and one of the bigger things?
So one of the smaller things is, I forget what episode of what it was, but because I don't really watch the show a lot, there was a Cthulhu statue, a handheld Cthulhu statue that was on Supernatural that one of the brothers was holding. That was, that was a big thing. That was a small thing for a big production.
And he made that.
Yeah, and he made that.
And what's the big thing?
The big thing would have to be, I don't think this counts as like a production, but he made a giant set of Ed 209 from RoboCop, 1-to-1 scale replica. You know, the big like, the robot is like, you have 10 seconds to comply. He made the giant replica for Maker Faire and for their Makerspace office.
Oh, cool.
Offices, and now it's chilling in a toy shop.
That's
in,
usually how it goes.
Petaluma, California.
Wow.
So he started making this as a passion project, and he has a bunch of friends come over to help work on it. He basically CNCs the parts from in-game files, and we do lots of sanding, lots of prepping, lots of mold making. It was a several-year project. He has it all on his blog. And we got one done for Maker Faire. I think it was either Maker Faire 2017 or 2018.
Can you tell the viewers what Maker Faire is?
Maker Faire is, and I'm not sure if this is still going on anymore, but Maker Faire is put on by Make Magazine. It's this giant fair and festival where you get makers, not as much cosplayers, and engineers and artists all alike. And they sell and demonstrate their inventions and innovations. Lots of 3D printer companies go to these things. Lots of CNC machinists go to these things. Adam Savage, my old boss, he's always the keynote speaker there. He gives what he calls the Sunday sermon to everyone.
The Sunday Sermon.
Sunday sermon.
By Adam Savage.
By Adam Savage from Mythbusters. Great guy.
So tell us a little bit about your time, because you worked under Adam Savage on Mythbusters. So tell us a little bit about your time working under him.
So I will say that Adam, what you see on camera is what you get in real life. He is a joy to be around. Really, really fun and funny guy. He's like a kid in the candy shop. Every time I'd be in his shop working with him. I'd be his assistant, so I'd mainly do much of... When I first met him, he wanted a set of Boba Fett armor, and he's like, hey, you do Boba Fett armor, so can you come make one for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I didn't end up finishing it because I got thrown onto a whole bunch of other projects. He's a total ADHD brain, just like me. As far as like, hey, can you work on this thing? It's like, oh, I need like 10 or can you make 10 or 15 shelves of these for me? Like, this is your new priority. Actually, can you do this? Can you do this?
Yeah.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
It's lots of makers and artists do that. Where was I getting? So what I ended up doing most of the time...
Where was I getting? Speaking of ADHD.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
What I ended up doing most of the time working with Adam is I helped organize and catalog all of his costumes. He has over 130 different costumes that are all cataloged, photographed in a database, thanks to me. There was a database before me, and now there's a database a little bit after me. It all kind of organically evolves with his new assistants that he brings on.
But you founded the database.
Yeah, I founded
it's called the Freddy Schramm database.
It's called the Savage Industries Costume Database
by Freddy Schramm.
That is only available to Adam and his assistants. I am very proud of how I put that together.
I bet he is too.
Yes, absolutely.
Considering it's still being used today.
Every now and then he calls and asks, like, hey, do you know like where this is cataloged in or so-and-so? And 9 times out of 10, I know exactly where it is.
Wow.
He is, if you ever need organizing tips from Adam,
Don't call him.
Well, no, absolutely take it. But when it comes to deep storage, trial and error yourself a bit.
That's a very polite way of putting it. So how long did you work with him?
That's a strange question because there's like the official long run that I worked with him. And then it was like, okay, we're done for a bit. And then I get called back every now and then to do a couple things depending on project. But like,
so how long was your time, just that your consistent time?
Long stretch would be probably like 2 years.
Nice.
After I went to art school in San Francisco, and maybe like 6 months after I graduated, I got the job with him, worked for him for 2 years, and then just kind of fucked around for 2 years in the film union down there before I got dumped, realized there's nothing left for me in San Francisco, and just moved out here.
Yeah, why would you be there? Why would you like start there? I guess you got to start somewhere.
I mean, it used to be really, really big in the film industry, but
it wanted to be big in the film industry.
I mean, you know,
it's such a corporate place, dude.
Yeah, it turned into. I mean, the original Lucasfilm model shops were there, and it actually the last original Lucasfilm model shop that was still a film studio just recently closed. It was called 3210, and it was in. It was in the San Francisco Bay Area. They just couldn't make up with the payments of the post-pandemic, post-film strike. And it was a soundstage, film studio and shop, and they just had to close down, unfortunately. Yeah. So there are no more remnants of the old ILM building other than, ILM and Lucasfilm corporate, which is all digital now, unfortunately.
People swore that San Francisco was like coming up in the film industry.
Yeah, it was.
Like they swore Miami was coming up in the film industry.
And, you know, when
I'm from Miami. That shit never came up.
I heard talk. So I was working on 13 Reasons Why up there, like right before like right when the pandemic was starting to happen, and there was talk of them building up. I don't know if I'm violating NDA. I didn't sign an NDA on this. Like I was
people are always
fly on the wall, but like there was
up.
talk of bringing out these massive sound stages in the San Francisco area. These building up these new infrastructures, and then the pandemic happened, and everything just got thrown out. And I mean, I don't know where the film industry stands at this point either in Los Angeles, because I'm still so new here.
Oh, I know where. How long have you been here?
2 years.
Dude, I've been here shorter than you.
Really?
I've been here a year and 5 months.
Okay, so then we both don't know.
No, I know exactly what's going on.
Okay, you know what's going on. I'm in the fucking dark because I haven't made enough friends to make connections out here.
I'll introduce you to my friends. All right,
there you go. Yeah.
Listen, this city just needs a good finger to finger its. This city just needs someone right for it. Mm-hmm. Okay? And trust me, we're here, baby.
All right.
We're here giving it to it. But yeah, I love this city. A lot of people have a bitter taste in their mouth when they think of Los Angeles or what they came here to do, career-wise or anything. I'm telling you, I fucking love this city, dude. Fucking love it.
Well, it's always the role of it. I mean, you have to come in here with a certain mindset that you're going to be, at least if you come in here as a creative, you have to understand that you're going to be competing in a way that, you probably haven't been before when it comes to.
Interesting you said that word competing, because this new wave of creatives that I told you earlier in the green room that we're pushing, it's not about competing anymore. It's all about collaborating. Collaborations with one another, really, because we're all in the same boat. We're all doing this together. If you're passionate, I'm passionate. We're not just like-minded in that sense. I guarantee you there's other things that we like. It's like, think about it. You and I are both passionate about what we do. We're in different parts of the industry, but we're both really passionate. So we have that in common. Chances are, if we're like-minded there, we probably have some other things in common. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here. You like Fallout because you said that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's not really a shot in the dark. You said that already, but I fucking love Fallout. You know what I mean? You love RPGs, I bet. Fuck you. Say yes.
I mean, like, depends
on
on
a point here. Give me my right point.
What kind of RPG?
You love Fallout. There you go.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Come on, that's an RPG.
Tabletop RPGs, not so much. Video game RPGs, 100%.
I'm not talking about tabletop.
Okay, all right. Just want to be on the same page.
You 87-year-old Freddy. I'm talking about video games, digital technology. Yeah, I'm talking about that. Right. You like that.
I do. I wish I had more time to play video games.
Well,
but yes, absolutely.
So then let's talk about that, because I'm telling you, if like I said, I'm just trying to make a point here. we have so many of the same interests. And there's so many people like you that you can connect with, Passion is a magnet for passion.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Fallout, the RPG game, I'm sure you love everything Bethesda, because who doesn't?
I mean, Skyrim. I grew up on Skyrim.
Exactly.
And
All the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah,
Skyrim came out in 2011. Oblivion was 2006.
At least the first time.
You know what I mean?
2011.
Morrowind was like 2002, bro, or something. You know what I mean? I can keep going. Arena was like 96. You know what I mean? Like, this is Fallout. This is this legacy this man made, but there's a community within this of like-minded individuals, and that's just one thing. Think about that in the broad spectrum of everything. So it pains me to tell me you don't have friends out here, man.
I mean,
there's so many like-minded passionates like you out here. Like, I found you. You found me.
There's friends in the sense that, like, okay, when I first moved here, I didn't know anyone, because like I was literally just rolling the dice. Like, I don't know anyone. Let's throw things at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
And I have friends that I've made communities along the way, but I tend to do that outside of my career, because I compartmentalize things in my career. Generally, in the sense, when I'm in the shop, I focus on being the best,
of course,
the best, most efficient artist I
of
can
course.
be, getting things done. I don't tend to do a lot of small talk, which ended up biting me in the ass. I feel like, because if you don't make those, I don't want to say connections, but they are connections. If you don't make those connections and those kind of organic relationships at work, you end up getting left in the dust when things get when
these people go on to do the next job, and they take those people with them. That's how it works.
And I've always just focused on being the best artist, being the best, or at least most efficient worker.
Nobody wants that,
and let my work ethic speak for itself.
But they also want people that they know that they feel good around, that they can talk.
Yeah, that's true.
So, dude, I'm telling you, open up a little bit. Open up, but know know that balance, of course.
That's been my little social homework for myself this
I love
last
that.
year.
Growth, my friend.
Yeah.
I love that.
Especially with all the other shops I've gotten to work at.
What's funny is when I say friends, I if you really think about it, I don't have any friends out here in LA.
Yeah.
I have so many like-minded individuals that I love working with.
Mm-hmm.
But
can you hide a body with any of them? Trust someone to help you hide a body?
One of them.
One of them. Okay.
One of them.
All
He's
you
a friend.
need is one.
He's a friend,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna call him out. He is he co-created this with me, and he's starring in it with me, co-director with me. His name is Zeramak Baychak. I think Z, his name is, he goes by Z. I think Z would hide a body for me. That's Z right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he would hide a body for me.
Shout out to Jesse Clark. I know you'd help hide a body for me.
Jesse Clark, you grew up together.
No, she's my ex-girlfriend.
Jesse Clark, you would still hide a body for Freddy Schramm?
Mm-hmm. She definitely would.
Jesse, that's a good person right there.
You owe me a favor, Jesse. Remember that.
I'm gonna put this in a vertical clip just so she can see it.
I'll tag her.
We're gonna fucking tag her.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me, she's gonna love it. She's gonna hit you up and be like, "Oh, I have a favor." What's
she
the
already
favor?
knows. Yeah.
So I just think it's really important at the end of the day, man. Really, to be passionate and be the best, but also let others know how passionate you are, dude. That's huge, because that's good advice I can give you without having fear of you crossing a professional threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Just express how passionate you are about what you do, and then it'll end up going somewhere.
Well, for me, so I grew up in Chicago, the Midwest, all
the
my
Windy
life.
City.
Yeah, the Windy City. I'm Chicago. I was actually born in Laguna Beach, so I can't say I was Chicago born and raised, but I was basically raised there since I was like a week old.
Got it.
So when you grow up in the Midwest, you have this mentality of being self-sufficient, and as a creative growing up, you're taught to be passionate through your work. And I really felt when I moved to San Francisco in California, I felt there was a definite shift, of cultural shift when it came to, because I moved to California straight from Chicago for art school. So I was immediately around several other creatives, most of whom were actually from California, who I ended up being friends with. So I felt there was a definite cultural shock of how they express their passion. Others did it through, and of course, there's other reasons of other people being more introverts or extroverts. I'm more of an introvert.
Right.
But the general gist I got is, I grew up in an area that we were taught to be more like sheltered and confined and like show our emotions through our work, which is kind of like that. That's more of like a working class, like blue collar attitude, and especially like Midwestern blue collar attitude. But that's something I just was recently thinking about, and I've been trying to, just really get out of that mentality. And the best way I express my passion through my work is through my videos, my content creation.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your content creation. So what do you primarily... Well, let's jump into what you're creating. But before that, let's talk about the platform that you're thriving on and what you're creating on. So which platform is it?
I have so much to say about this.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So TikTok, I have the most following on TikTok.
Okay.
And I grew up blue through the pandemic. I had a lot of really good videos, and I was really engaging in the content.
Okay.
But TikTok, I'm calling you out. For some reason, I got caught in a censorship net. I'm not sure why, but I know it's not a fluke because I started posting again.
Fuck!
And I got really terrible engagement. And of course, when you're doing content creation, you're like, okay, why am I not getting good engagement? Am I doing something wrong with my videos? Is it the algorithm? Is it something else? There's so many things.
Never doubt yourself.
Yeah, there's so many like different things.
Did I
you
get
can pick
shadow
from.
banned? That fucking bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. I've been shadow banned for so much, and I know I'm shadow banned for the
too,
fact,
bro.
because I can't.
live in the shadow.
There's an option to pay to promote your videos now on TikTok. Of course, you have to have non-copyright videos, but I tried that to get a little boost. Immediately, 2 seconds after so I click pay to promote. It says it's pending. I refresh the page. Immediately it says this is rejected. Pay because we don't feel like this content is appropriate.
They don't make it easy.
No. But first of all, I'm like, okay, there's no way even an AI can review that whole video in 1 second. So don't bullshit me, and say that it's inappropriate when it's just. And I've had the video of my power armor that had like 3 million views on Instagram. I post that on TikTok. It has like 2,000 views. And I look at the analytics, and the only reason now it's at 40,000 views is because everyone is looking for Fallout. I have like 90% of that video is shown because people have searched the term Fallout.
When you search the term Fallout, I feel like your video should be the one.
It should.
That pops up on the planet.
1% of that of the views. Well, 0.01% of those views were because it was on someone's For You page.
So what do you think is happening then? If you what do you think is happening?
I think I got caught in a net by like an AI bot because they have so many people that are just automated that just like, okay, through numbers and stuff that shows like inappropriate content. None of my content is inappropriate except that one video I made where I had like a BDSM bed, my BDSM bed.
What does that mean?
Well, I used to make BDSM bed frames.
What is a BDSM?
Honestly, I can't remember the term for it, but it's like a kink bed. Kink bed
Is it
frames.
like something like hentai?
No. Well, that's another form. It's basically I made a bed frame with like medieval stocks.
Cool.
On the front. Yeah, that's fun.
Because you're a fucking prop maker.
I tell my friends that it's for when I catch home invaders and I need to lock them up before the police come. It is.
Dude. What the fuck?
That's how
Who
I
doesn't
found
have that
out.
Morbid sense of humor. Fuck them.
That's how I found out my mom followed me on TikTok because she commented on that video. You know what she said? You know what my mom
Careful,
said?
honey, don't cut yourself.
You know what my mom said on the video of me being locked in my BDSM bed frame?
That has how many views?
Camera. On TikTok that was 8 million.
So I'm sure people can hear you. They'll know you by this.
My mom said, "You're just like your grandfather."
So people can go in the comments right now of that video and
No,
look
I
at
deleted that shit.
You deleted that
First of all, what kind of kinky shit was Grandpa into?
Yeah, I have many
Second,
questions about that one.
Why the fuck do you know that? My grandpa was a carpenter, by the way, so just sets the scene. But I think that's why, because I did do some videos like that are suggestive, but generally, like, I'm not breaking any hard rules. But I think
seen
they're
so much worse shit.
Yeah, but how
does that slip through the cracks?
Well,
it might
slip through the cracks, but you don't see the consequences after to their accounts. I mean, when was the last time you saw a video, then checked on their account like 3 weeks later to see if like they're getting good engagement? It's like it's a slow punishment.
I've had a few videos blow up, but then get fucking because they were a little suggestive.
So luckily, I just got signed on with an agency that will that can probably help me circumvent a couple things because you can't talk to a human with TikTok. So
honestly,
hopefully, I'll have my agent talk to them.
If I'm gonna be one person to really reinforce what you said, if you can start doing something you're really passionate about, but as you start to reach a specific level or a caliber, you need a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, a team is going to help you, dude, because teams help. Like I just
shout out to Vervain Creative for signing me.
There you go, Vervain Creative. You signed a good one. Look, I can't do any of this. Like I can't do any of what I'm doing without my team of executives on my fucking.
It takes a village for you to keep your mental health and your project going. Right?
I mean, my company has executives. Like you need a team to do this, and you have to have someone that compliments you, people that compliment you, not people that are good at what you do.
And see, a lot of people don't realize that because all people really like see is like what's in front of them. They don't see the whole team that's behind them that brings that whole art piece together.
Exactly. And it's funny, a lot of these people think like that these huge content creator accounts have these millions of followers that they think that's just these two people. No, they've got a fucking team.
It may be a small team, but like
they've got directors, editors, they've got shooting people, they've got cinematographers, they've got a whole fucking set.
Good Mythical Morning, one of my favorite YouTube channels. Just briefly chatting with someone who's a writer on that show. They have like I think over 100 employees.
How many followers they have?
It's millions.
There you go.
And Tested, Adam Savage's channel, they have a handful of skeleton team. So it always varies based on like how big you are, but also like what kind of content. Like it takes more than one person when you get to that certain level. You understand that.
But you need a team to rely on in general.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you really need that support for everything you work on because there gets to be a point where you can't remember everything. You just can't. And then you really just want to have your team help you funnel what you thrive at, and then they funnel what they thrive at, and then you've got cogs in the machine, and then you've got this fucking machine working, and then you've got a fucking empire, brah. It's good shit. It's exciting stuff. But so other than your... Well, no, we didn't really talk about the content. We just talked about how you're pissed off at TikTok.
Oh, yeah, so I'm pissed off.
Let's talk about the content. What's your channel called? Let's give you a fucking plug-in, dude.
So
what is all this?
I'm Freddy Props. Freddy as in like Freddy Krueger. Props is his Props.
Freddy Props on TikTok, Instagram, all the above?
Instagram's where it's at.
Instagram is where it's at.
Yeah, I prefer...
I like Instagram.
Instagram Reels is honestly better for creatives, I feel like. It's strictly more on TikTok, focused more on like creative and artsy type people.
I feel brain dead when I scroll through TikTok. Too many, like more than 5 videos, my brain just goes.
TikTok for memes, Instagram for art. Most of my content focuses on lots of projects I'm working on with tools that a lot of people won't have or maybe not exist. I use a lot of resin 3D printers. I basically showcase when I'm able to. My building process on props, costumes, and set pieces for film TV shows or for major events like Halloween Horror Nights. I show how things are made that a lot of people might not realize are techniques that exist. My favorite video I showed how you can make skulls, realistic looking skulls for background out of milk jugs.
Oh, cool.
That was fun. I saved maybe like 15 different gallon milk jugs over the year. I drank a lot of milk that year.
So your account, you show people
I do.
The behind the scenes or how to do kind of like a magician's inside peek in the industry.
In a very entertaining and cohesive way is what I try and do in all my content. In a entertaining way and in a comedic
Freddie,
way.
Don't get upset with me when I ask you this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just a busy guy.
Okay.
So I apologize. I haven't seen any of your videos. Can I see an example of something?
Well, yeah, my phone is charging
Go
right
get
now,
it.
but all right.
Yeah.
Just
all right, yeah. You could have moved the mic. You didn't have to all slide out like a snake. Oh, I like it. It worked. Hey, it worked, I just didn't want you to hurt your back.
If you clip this on TikTok or Instagram, feel free to use the video that I show you.
Okay.
But
Yeah, dude. I'm actually interested in seeing how you set it up because you said it's a very entertaining way and an interesting way. I'd love to see it.
let's see.
Give me like one of your most viewed.
So here's the one I did recently where I was making a corpse for Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, cool.
And this technique that someone showed me that I really, really loved. So what we're actually...
I'm going to clip it in on the video.
So what I'm actually doing in that video is I'm mixing something called Flex Bond. It's basically kind of like white glue. Mix that with rubbing alcohol and a little bit of permablood. Permablood is basically like blood pigment that special effects artists use to create like, blood on the floor.
Wow.
Mix a little bit of that. It coagulates. And when you put it on like a fake skeleton, it looks like muscle tissue.
Wow.
It's
dude.
really expensive to do because a gallon of that stuff is like $50. But it gets this really good and all in all like cheap looking effect.
That is disgusting. You did excellent.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that. That looks that face. I wish can we pause it on the face?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can. I don't think you can pause Instagram. No, you can't.
No,
I just
dude,
pause
that
it.
there's horror on that face.
It's
Like that person got burned alive. Ah. Oh man, that's wild.
Here's one of my milk jug videos.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
Yeah. So basically, I drank like 15 gallons of milk the year I saved the milk jug skulls. And you basically heat them up. It's a really cheap way to make really realistic things. And I put them over these like tea lights for Halloween. And it was just this really cool effect. They're really lightweight, so you can use them as kind of as costume pieces.
You are fucking creative. This is like an indie production's fucking
so
as
that's
a producer and director, this is my fucking dream to look at this. This is insane.
That's where I specialize in. I'm
wow.
I think on my feet a lot and I use what's at my disposal. I don't have to buy the most expensive materials. I'm like the MacGyver when it comes to my industry. Of course, I'm talking myself up. There's so many other people who are more skilled than me, but my main skill set is you can give me a limited amount of materials and I can give you gold.
Guess what?
Chicken butt.
We're gonna figure something out, man. I want to work with you on
you're
so
absolutely
fucking creative, and that's what we stand for at ENF and the movies we make here. I love that. Fuck.
You'll love what I just made recently.
Oh my god, dude!
So
wow.
I just turned this in today. The band Magnolia Park, which is a fantastic rock band. I made a set of bat wings for them.
Cool.
Out of EVA foam. I've never worked with EVA foam before, surprisingly. But what I did with this is I had to make these wings realistic. So I 3D printed a texture roller and I heat formed. I took a heat gun to the foam and I rolled this texture former on. And this is something I completely kind of came up with. I heat formed it, I rolled it on, and I instantly cooled it with upside down compressed air.
So you just visualize how to do
textures are what
steps.
Textures are what I specialize in specifically.
Oh my god. You're an animal.
Thank you. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on that soon.
See, you know what's funny? In the green room, I said to you, I only have a specific a certain person on my podcast of a specific caliber, and I didn't even look at your content, but I knew you were passionate. And like I told you, passion is a magnet for passion, and I just knew that you were talented. I didn't even have to vet you on that to see. And bro, you got it, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
That's why you're on the show. I love it. I love it. And yeah, definitely, I want to work with you in some capacity. You sold me. Oh my god, yeah. We'll definitely talk.
We can find something to collaborate.
We have a lot of. I have a lot of movies coming out. Working on 2 features this year alone. So right after this, we're jumping into pre-pro in the next one in July. Going to pre-pro for the next one. So might be something for you on that one, dude.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah. Great work.
Thank you.
Keep that shit up. And you love doing it, obviously.
I do.
You're good at it.
I just wish I had more The problem is, because I am so new here, right? And that's changing because I met you. But the problem, because I'm so new here, I haven't been properly vetted within the social circle of special effects artists to be recommended to other places for lots of fun projects.
So, have you ever thought about
I'll change now. I have an agency, but
Well, yeah, that's gonna definitely help you. But have you ever thought about kind of starting your own company?
I have. I'm not at that point yet.
Look,
so
here's
I'm 29. I've all my life I've focused on gaining the skills, not necessarily the business aspect of
Listen,
things.
you need to be an entrepreneur.
I do,
But here's
I
my
do,
thing: if
yeah.
you don't look, I asked you if that's not something, I'll fucking scoop you up and bring you onto my fucking.
It's
company,
definitely
dude.
something I'm interested in, but I'm more interested in right now working with companies that have like Legacy Effects.
You just love the craft, dude. And
I love the
fucking
craft,
that.
and I
That's
love
it.
the opportunity to work on these fantastic big projects that, like the Power Armor thing, that Legacy Effects got that contract for. That would have been fun. That it's great. I know a lot of other
guys did
shops,
great
they don't
work.
get those opportunities because
Yeah.
they don't have the name attached to them.
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, it's more of like, I don't know. I'm happy when I get to work on something on a big production, and then I see it on TV, and I'm like, I got to work on that. Or that's my blood stain when I cut my finger on the knife that's on the left side
It's
of the
satisfying,
camera.
right? You just know it's, but you
for legal reasons, I have to say that did not happen on any
It
production.
didn't happen.
No,
it didn't happen, dude. Yeah, I love how passionate you are. I fucking love that, and you're just at the end of the day, you're just a passionate dude, and that is the most important thing when it comes to
Well,
everything.
I'm a
quality.
kid who just hasn't grown up yet.
I don't think we ever
Yeah.
will, bro.
And that fine line between, just growing up enough to pay my bills and keep myself alive and still be able to play.
Yeah, well, the good news is you're doing what you love every day. So it's all play pretty much. And that's people look at you and they think that's where I want to be in life, And you have you look at someone else and you think that's where I want to be in life. And it's just a vicious circle, but you're doing so many things right now that people envy and go ahead.
And here's the thing with the whole, and I was actually just thinking about this earlier today. Like 5 years ago, I
If you saw yourself today, you'd be
today
like,
I'd be like,
"Fuck
that's where I
no."
want to be.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
where I'm at today, because I'm looking at things through
Of
my, I
course,
was like,
you're
I
growing,
I
dude.
gotta get much farther. I am not
Yeah.
where thought I want to be.
That is
But
passion
that's
at its finest.
because I might piss a couple people off with this
Fuck 'em.
question,
Fuck
but
'em.
I think comparing yourself to like other people and where you are at the moment in life is a good thing for a couple different reasons. Because at least for me,
For you,
it
I
is a
think.
drive. Yeah, only for me. It is a drive to get better, and it is my only drive to get better. Maybe not my only, but is one of the biggest drives to get better when I compare myself to other people and their other skill sets, because it helped me get to where I was today. And when I compare myself to where I was 5 years ago, I still beat myself up and tell myself I can do so much better.
I think
I
it's
can get farther.
important.
And it is definitely it's a creative, it's a thing that's not just for me. It's tied to that whole creative mindset. I'm rambling.
You're not rambling, but you were on to
You know
something,
what I mean,
and I
yeah,
think it's
and I
very.
lost it.
I think it's very important to find the line at which you're willing to do everything. So
Yeah.
so that cutoff point, like I told now I'm starting to lose it.
Yeah.
I had no backup for what I wanted to do. Like,
No
all right,
safety
I'm
net.
gonna work as a bartender and pursue acting, and it wasn't working for me. But I
Yeah.
was in the industry for the restaurants for 10 years, and it just wasn't working for me. So one day I was like, "Fuck it!" And the fire that this is what I was telling you that works for you, because this is what works for me. What I did was the fear of not having backup, the fear of having no plan B, the fear of going hungry, the fear of possibly dying. It was like that was the fuel that got me to the point where I needed to go. And yours was different. You needed to look at others and maybe feel envy or compete against them. And that was yours. So I think the big thing is here, find the fire that fuels you, whether it's like a negative fire that fuels you into positive outcome, I guess.
Yeah, transform that
But-
negative energy into a positive.
But I think everyone
as
needs
fuel.
needs to discover what it is and harbor that, find that negative energy that it is, and then do what you can with it. But there's so much other negative energy that you don't need, but maybe there is one thing that really helps you. Like, it's not even a negative thing. It's at the end of the day, it helps you.
No, I mean it's how you use it.
It's how you
you
use.
know.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
it's
Yeah,
like
how
a
you
gun.
use
It can go either a couple different ways.
It's how you use it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think how you use something is definitely defines the person you are, and defines the thing that you used. Of course. We're getting a little deep now.
I would also like to say that you don't have to. I mean, everyone would like to make money off their craft.
Of course.
I mean, that is the whole natural aspect. But you don't have to be. You don't have to make. Let me word this the right way. You can still be an artist, and you can still be a successful artist, and not make money off your craft. You don't have to feel.
It's not. Well, that's the thing, Freddie. It's like you already understand. It's not about the money.
Oh yes, I can tell you where I'm at right now. It is definitely not about the money because I don't get paid enough for that.
And that is exactly why I told you in the Green I started the Pop initiative.
But a lot of people need to understand that, especially coming to LA, where they have to have. I mean, I use LA as an example. It could be anywhere. You have to have the mindset of
you're doing this because you love it.
You're doing this because you love it.
Because you want to do it, not because you need to do it.
And if you can compartmentalize your energy, taking 60% art, 40% making money in a way that, that's not creative, as long as you put more energy into that creative side, or at least put the effort to try and put more energy into that creative aspect of your life, you will be happy at some point down the line. Hopefully.
See, for me, I couldn't make that balance. I had to go 100% in. Like, I found myself at the restaurant some days.
Yeah.
I brought a notepad with me because I was in the middle of writing all these feature films. And it was taking me out of it because I had to remember the beer menu, remember the and that was killing me. And just personally, me, I couldn't divide my time. So I made the decision to quit the job when I had no money and really just dive headfirst into this. I nearly died and starved to death because I had no money, but I'm okay now.
Classic Van Gogh.
Yeah, but I think it's back to what I said. You really find what it is that fuels you, and I couldn't do that 60-40 shit. I tried, dude. I have to be 100 in. That's me.
I was the same. I all had to go one. I've never had a normal job in my life, unless if you count like being an RA and like a lifeguard, but that's like post college. I told myself, as soon as I get a job that's outside my creative field, then like I'm gonna be lost. But that's just
Life
me.
is over for you.
That's me, because I know myself. Like with my whole thing, I told you that my whole drinking and drugs.
Right.
So I don't drink or do any drugs. I've never drank or done any drugs because I know as soon as I do it and I like it, it will become a vice that could potentially get out of hand.
That is an insane amount of self-awareness and restraint that
Well, is it
never
restraint?
seen anyone do before.
Is it restraint if you've never been
Yes,
exposed
it's restraint,
to,
because don't
like,
you have the curiosity thought, dude? That's fucking restraint.
I mean, not really. If anything, it's more like when I do go out and when I do eventually go out and socialize. I'm a big introvert, but that's changed when I go to LA. It's like I wish I had a social lubricant. Because of social anxiety, but like that's the closest thing to it. My art is that's my main go-to. I put all my energy into that.
That's cool.
My career is my hobby, and my hobby is my career.
And it's your drug.
Yeah, and it's my drug, because I was making a metaphor here. I used that as a metaphor. I forget where I was going. Oh, no, yeah, with my job stuff. Because basically I told myself, as soon as I know I take a normal job, I'm going to get into this routine that will take this negative routine that will take me out of my creative.
It's going to nullify your creativity.
And, I acknowledge I was privileged. I had a working class mother who really like helped me out and believed in me to help me bring me up here.
Wow.
And I got lucky on the whole, Robin Hood GameStop situation, stock situation. Not too lucky, but like lucky enough to help me through the writer strike enough, and still work on my art and my content creation.
Good for you.
But it's using your advantages to your advantage.
There you go. Well put.
Yeah.
Using your advantages to your advantage. As much as that is a funny sentence, it makes sense.
When you think of, and this is a couple other examples I'm bouncing around here, but in the broad sense, there's so many self-help books on how to get rich, right? There's so many financial gurus like, hey,
I've
do this,
never
this,
read
this.
any of them.
Neither have I. But like all these books are out, and there's only how many billionaires? Like, what the information is out there, but what's your advantage?
Were these books written by billionaires?
Yeah. The point being is like, what's your personal advantage? If the information is out there for everyone, everyone has access to all this information. Everyone has different advantages, but the same information. What's your advantage that can dial up that?
It's what you do with everything.
Exactly. Apply that to everything in life. That's what I try to do.
The bottom of my website, there's a quote. It's on every page of my website. It says, "You don't have to be smarter than everyone else. You just have to prioritize differently."
Oh, God, that is so true. I've worked with so many
Quote
dumb
by
people
Harrison
who are-
Myles.
I've worked with so many dumb people who are up in the top.
And they've prioritized differently.
Yes, they do.
And then once they get to the top, they reprioritize again.
Yes, they do.
They're like, well, I made it. I can take the smart hat off.
You have no idea.
Oh, I do. Why do you think I work for myself?
Uh,
Why do you think I have my own company? I don't want to deal with that. Yeah. But, dude, I think that you're driven, you're talented. I've seen it. You're passionate. And you made a new friend today.
all right.
And yeah, you're going places, dude. We're working together, so you're definitely going places. But I'm just really happy to see just yet another creative, but someone in a field that I haven't dived too deep into. But it's so nice to know that there's people out there, even in your field, that are so passionate about what they're doing, and you belong right in this new fucking golden era of movie making, dude. You belong right there with us, man. So welcome to Pop. Yeah, because you're definitely part of that passion, dude. You really are. And it's just very it's a breath of fresh air. There's been
Glad
a lot
to
of
hear.
garbage. There's been so much garbage, and with these huge companies and studios really prioritizing the money over the quality. It's Todd Howard, God Howard, he really showed everybody that even boomers, even the baby boomers, still understand that quality is important. I'm sure you saw how many executive producers were part of Fallout. I've never seen that many on a TV show in my life.
Actually, no, I mean, I didn't take a look at those credits.
If you look at that
Yeah.
list, it's fucking ridiculous. And all those people believed in the vision that Todd had. And Todd didn't skip a beat with anything. And he was hands-on, anal. I mean, that's what it takes to make something that great. The characters, the dialogue. I love that he fooled everyone. It wasn't even an adaptation either. It's just an expansion of the universe.
I mean, honestly,
Not even an adaptation.
That's the way to go with most properties.
With a lot of them. I don't think, because I'm writing an adaptation myself.
I mean, we've had the Resident Evil, the newer Resident Evil movies that happened. That was
pardon me.
Basically, actually, no, it wasn't an adaptation. It was like a scene for scene remake of the movie that of the game that just came out. I was like, it was okay, good. But then we have the things like Last of Us and Fallout.
But The Last of Us is a fucking mirrored adaptation.
Yeah, and it works so well.
Oh my God. You know why?
But why?
Because Neil Druckmann was involved. Once again, the Todd Howard of Naughty Dog, which is Neil Druckmann. He wrote all the Uncharted games and the Last of Us story. He was in charge. He was the fucking the guy pointing fingers and saying, "This is what we got to do. What we got to do."
Well,
that's why it turned out so well. But that's why Fallout was so good, because you had the creator Todd Howard on top of it, making sure. That's why The Last of Us was so good, because you had the creator Neil Druckmann involved. That's why Uncharted the movie was underperforming, to say it nice. It's because Neil Druckmann was not involved. You know what I mean? And that's why Neil stepped in for The Last of Us, because of what happened with Uncharted. Nathan Fillion will always be my Nathan Drake.
Yeah, that's.
Did you see that YouTube video he did, bro? That
Which
short?
Oh, no, I know of it, but I
You didn't
haven't
see
seen
it?
No,
He's
I mean, it was a
Nathan
while
Drake.
ago.
He's Nathan Drake. Tom Holland is Peter Parker.
Why didn't they have it? What? The
he's
studio's
too old.
excuse because he's too old. Yeah, well,
And then they went and put Mark Wahlberg as Sully, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I see Tom
Anthony
Holland.
Hopkins would have been a better Sully. Mel Gibson would have been a better Sully.
I see Tom Holland, and yeah, I don't picture that.
I see Tom Holland. I see Peter Parker's younger brother.
Yeah, well,
Great actor though.
I see Tom Holland. Tom Holland's an amazing actor, but now every time I see him, I just think, okay, Peter Parker. Like with Tobey Maguire, it's like, oh, it's Peter Parker's in this movie. Oh, it's Peter Parker. I don't remember the character's name. I just know
it's like a Spider-Man curse.
Well, I mean,
It's like-
I wouldn't say it's a Spider-Man
Not
curse.
a curse, but
like when you have, it's like if you see Mark Hamill in a movie, it's like, oh, Luke Skywalker.
that's only for some roles. Daniel Radcliffe, he's always going to be Harry Potter, but he almost didn't escape that forever. He really made a name for himself as an actor.
I do think
it's
it
hard
helps
to get out of that.
I do think it helps though that a big piece of that character of Harry Potter was like him wearing glasses. And like with Superman, you take the glasses off, you have a little bit of a distinction. I do feel at least with Daniel's case that kind of helps.
But these guys that are in the Marvel universe now, and that have been for the last 12 years, they're trying desperately to escape their roles.
I mean, it's working for Robert Downey.
Well, Robert Downey he was very smart with it.
Yeah.
Very smart with it. He came in at the ground, brought them up, and then exited right when at the peak. But, these other guys, I think they're going to have a little trouble.
I mean,
I hope not.
Depends where you're at. Like with, why am I blanking on his name? Moon Knight. Who played Moon Knight?
Oh.
No, I know.
Edgar, no. What the fuck?
Moon Knight's my favorite superhero, but
Really?
I can't remember why I had mixed
Oscar
feeling. Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Well, with Oscar Isaac,
we go.
being the Marvel movie, you've had other. If you can have multiple iconic roles, but you can't have the same role that's iconic back to back for the audience to build this idea of you consistently.
Like when they match your yeah.
Like he was in Star Wars, but he was in so many other big movies at the same time.
But he was good at Poe.
Yeah, he was good at Poe, but we don't associate him as Poe anymore.
Yeah,
no,
because he nailed it.
And then you get actors
everything he does.
like Nicolas Cage, where all we see in the movie is like we don't see another character. We just think like I watched like 2 Nicolas Cage movies 2 months
always
ago,
Jack.
and I can't tell you
Nicolas Cage. I thought you said
yeah,
Jack
and I
Nicholson.
can't tell you like what his character's name is. I only see I hear his character's name like Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, and my brain deletes that and inserts Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
That's so. You're right
you get
about
actors
that.
like that. Yeah,
you get actors like that are just too big for any role they'll ever take on, and like Tom Cruise. Do you know any fucking other than Mission Impossible? He's like. He's Tom Cruise in every
I can't
movie.
even tell you what his Mission Impossible name is.
Ryan Reynolds
Tom
again.
Cruise, yeah.
Other than Deadpool, he's Ryan Reynolds, and even Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds.
Nicolas Cage is doing a live action Spider-Man.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he's going to be Spider-Man Noir live action. Have you seen Across the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
Across the Spider-Verse, it was that animated Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
The first one.
2018.
Yeah, about that time. He voiced the Noir, the black and white Spider-Man in that movie, and now he's playing that character in live action.
Oh, cool! Good for
Yeah,
him.
and I think it's going to be an Amazon series, but it's going to be live action. And Sony actually canceled another series called Silk. It's a female spider. I'm not quite familiar with.
Madam
I'm a
Web.
big Marvel fan, but not quite familiar with her character. But she's in the
Is it like
Spider-Man
Madam
family.
Web?
No, well, if it got made, it might have been something like that.
Probably why it didn't get made. Madam Web was the guinea pig.
But they canceled that in favor of Nicolas Cage Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Movie.
Yeah, I mean Nicolas Cage is a very big actor where he just outshines any role he'll ever be.
God, I love Nicolas Cage.
He's great though, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's fucking
good.
Nicolas Cage.
I would like to.
another-
He is on my top list of actors I would like to meet.
Really?
Yeah.
You just want him to say, "Hi, Freddy. How are you?"
I want him to tell me to go fuck myself. In that, go fuck yourself.
Freddy,
Just piss him off.
Go fuck yourself, Freddy. Terrible Nicolas Cage impression. I apologize.
I mean,
Nick.
yeah, but like if you were to say that without context, I would have been like, oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Very good,
anybody
man.
can do that. It's like the same as Christopher Walken.
It's like Schwarzenegger.
Freddy,
Everyone can do a Schwarzenegger impression.
I gotta tell you, Freddy, fuck you. Hey. No, that was not that good. But yeah, Schwarzenegger. Oh, everyone can do this for you.
Everyone can do a spot on,
And
but
everyone does
Schwarzenegger
this.
can't do an
For some
impression
reason.
of anyone else.
And he can't do even his own impression.
Probably not.
Like, right, and it's funny because everyone goes this for Schwarzenegger impression. They go, yeah, but you've never made that noise before. He's never done that.
Sometimes when I had sex with my ex, I'd make that noise just to annoy her. Like
During sex. Oh, that's funny. That is.
I'm talking
funny.
about you, Jesse.
Sorry, Jesse.
Get to the chopper.
She's gonna have
I'm
so
coming.
many fucking bad memories hearing this now. Well, good memories depending on how good you delivered, how well you delivered.
Good memories.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But she's your ex, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She left me for a rich guy. So.
Oh well, joke's on her when you become rich.
That's never gonna happen.
He's a modest.
I'll
guy.
have to marry. I'll marry a Beverly Hills cougar, and then that's the closest I'm ever gonna get to be rich.
And then you'll have your own reality show.
Yes. Hopefully.
Beverly Hills House Husbands. Anyway,
that
we're gonna
word.
end it there. Freddie, listen, Freddie. I loved having you on. It was great.
Likewise.
It was really fun having you. I think we'll invite you on again at some point.
That would be fantastic. I'd love that.
And now we're friends, so why not? You could definitely come on again. But for now, I am gonna say,
Oh boy.
Freddy Schramm, get the fuck out.
All right. I know when I'm not wanted.
And don't let the door hit you on the way out. Oh, he really left.